I would like to thank Caressa McKnight for sending me this story that is coming out of the Bronx, New York, where you have this perv by the name of Alberto Hernandez who deserves to have the goddamn guillotine dropped on his damn nuts. So this guy was arrested for repeatedly raping this young girl for about a good 4 years while at a daycare center. Now, what's interesting about this is that this wasn't any old daycare center in which he was committing this act at. This daycare center was owned or is owned by his wife. Now, this actually makes me question her a little bit. If you are the owner of a daycare center, that means you have the responsibility to be looking after those children day in and day out. And that means every single child that's in your care for any amount of hours that they are in your care for when they're not with their parents. How did you not know that the man that you were living under the same roof with, sharing the same bed with, was repeatedly raping this young girl? And it says that he was repeatedly raping her from the ages of 6 to 10. The girl is now 13 years of age. Sorry about that. I just hate when that phone starts ringing whenever I'm getting ready to record something. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, the wife, who's, like I said, the owner of the daycare, how does she not know what's going on with this child? Because the child would start to move a different way. They would start to act very differently and things of that nature. And this is one reason why I really hate child molesters, pedophiles, and all of that. Because they can easily get inside the mind of a child. Because children's minds are not fully developed yet. Their mental state is not all the way there yet. And they can say anything to them and the child will most likely do it if the person doesn't come off as creepy to them. So he probably moved his way in, not in a creepy way to a child, but a creepy way most likely to an adult. And he convinced this child not to tell anybody for 4 years. Well, actually more than that, because the child is 13 now, about what was going on. Not tell his wife, who's the owner, not even tell her parents. Because for him to repeatedly do this for 4 years, she cannot have told anybody, not the police, nobody. But her behavior would have had to been a little bit off or a little bit different unless she was very good at hiding that well for 4 years. But finally, at the age of 13, she came out and said that this is the guy that was raping me, was molesting me since I was 6 years old. He stopped when I was 10, but this is the guy that did it. And that's really fucked up. All they got to do is go back and see if they can find anything with DNA on it to prove that he did it. And I think they probably have enough on him to actually say that he actually did it. It said he was hit with 13 charges with rape, predatory sexual assault against a child, and forcible touching. Those are just 3 of the charges that he's been hit. 3 out of the 13 that he's been hit with. Lock his ass the hell up. But I would definitely say that they need to look into his wife as well. Because how could you be so careless to not know what was going on with one of the children that was in your daycare? Like, that's weird. And that's why a lot of these daycare centers need to have cameras around, because it's too much going on. This actually goes back to a statement that I had made on a previous video about babysitters or daycare providers and everything like that needing to have mostly women there. Because the last time I talked about something like this, it was almost the same exact thing, but I think that was a babysitter, or maybe that was another daycare provider. Those of you who remember what video I'm talking about know which one I'm referring to. It was almost the same exact thing, where you had a guy who knew somebody who worked there. They were watching the children, and one children they set their eyes on and they started molesting them. Same thing here. And you can tell by the look in his face right here that he's guilty and he's shameful for what he did. But at the same time, he needs to get dealt with wherever the hell he's going. And I'm sure once this story has really reached its peak, which it probably has on a local level, they're going to deal with him in prison. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.